It's the CBGM. It's about 3:20 in the morning, Eastern Time, 1 a.m. West Coast Pacific. And for myself, a North American that moved to the Australian area in Sydney, it's approximately 20 after 5 p.m. So, anyways, why am I doing this? Well, let me take that off the screen. First of all, this is our league is migrating the college basketball general manager to um, the versions 23 of both pro and college basketball. I put the league in here. So be able to get us to college basketball 23 means that we need to advance our pro game in sync, which is an observation league. Our players go, we watch them in this environment, and we see how they do. So I totally don't expect anybody to be on or be surprised or come on the server, but I'm gonna just throw this out for now in case, and mostly just put out the result. But I guess I get to enjoy this, so I got a drink with me. I'm checking it out, and yeah, so this is PB23 now. We haven't run it in this one yet, but let's talk about what's on the screen. All right. Oh, Agalia is here. I mean, that's pretty funny. The guy's in Hawaii. You're in Hawaii, man, so you can make it out to this one. But this is a late night show. For some reason, 8 people popped on. Okay, this is the mock draft, though. So our top college players, usually underclassmen that went pro. Seniors, they don't usually make this one too much. But if you notice, it's the young guns, the 18-year-olds. So Caleb Bailey from Baylor right now is mocked at the number 1. And what do we got left? We got Patrick Alexander. I don't know too much about this guy. They say he's at number 2 at the shooting guard. Miko Barrett, though, is from a team that I'm familiar with. He was an SAT scorer, delinquent. I don't know what do you want to call it. He's just not good at books and ends up going to a small school, carries them in the Sweet 16, loses out. But Jack Smalls, he's a big player from Nova. And Xavier Midgley, he took UConn all the way to the Elite Eight, losing to Ohio State. But let's quickly go through some of the best at each position. So Jack Smalls, he's big. Marquise King going from Cards' team. Garrick Barrett. Midgley's a big-time player. Tough for UConn to lose that guy. And then we got Texas. We got a few of these names that are just, we know them in our league, but we're going to see where they go pro. So we're almost like 10, 11 years into the pro game now, and we're seeing where these guys land up. The Finnish talent from UConn, Finland's Laitila. Ben Alford's another name that's been around for a bit. These are the 18-year-olds. This looks like a 19-year-old here, a G League Ignite player. And again, Caleb Bailey, Raul Gooden from Kansas. Keith Humphrey, there's a Dame sighting for Agalia. And what do we got else here? Rico Lavin, center, second overall. Kyle Bragg has lost some rank here. I don't understand that. But let's run this draft. Charlie Warhank, this is a bad man. He dunks a lot. What does it say here? Jaw-dropping dunker. Yeah, I mean, like when I was watching the play-by-play, this guy was just cramming it down. Big time player. Got them all the way to the finals just to lose out to Syracuse. And Syracuse was their champ this year. So let's get to this draft. I've kind of been testing just to see that it imported our rookies. So that center list will definitely help pros for a while. And this is the montage. We're going to see some of the names, some of the college logos come back in. It's going to be Caleb Bailey again, yeah. Midgley somewhere in there. Gooden, yeah, whatever. Charlie Warhank's the third name on there. So anyways, let's get to it. All right, so we're in the new game. Doesn't look like the draft simulator presentation pieces changed that much. But same old guys. It's CPU picks I got to do. I think if I did human, it's not going to work out well. So CPU picks. Jazz up number 1. They won the lottery. They got Tyshawn Dahl, Crichton. One of my guys was a champ. I think he's an all-star now. But anyways, Caleb Bailey is expected to be picked. So let's take Dahl's there. Jack Smalls could be picked. They could use guards. So the first pick is Caleb Bailey. On the move already, Raptors and Nets. The new simulator is going wild on deals. But Caleb Bailey, only 12 a game, but just the pros love him. So he's going first. Power forward, I guess, or small forward, I should say. If he's playing against Tyshawn Dahl, I don't know. They're pretty bloody at that position. What's the point? Next up, we got Rico Lavin. So Galia makes it onto the stream to see his player go second over Kyle Bragg, over a few other talents. So definitely an oddity to see him at number 2. We're at the third pick now with the Suns. The Suns, as to show their lineup here, they got Booker and old Booker. Donald, I don't even know who that is, but they probably have RFAs and whatever. But Jack Smalls would be a really good pick here for them. Miko Barrett. So the future of the Suns is taking Coppin State's big time number 1 overall out of high school. Not very good at the books. Didn't really have the greatest year like a Steve Robertson, but he's got 19 a game, almost 10 boards. Just dominated, obviously, that conference and took them to the Sweet 16. So in addition to that, we have an RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish style team. So Jack Smalls would do well here at the Lakers. We'll see who they take at this pick. Kyle Bragg is a Laker. So falls to the number 4 slot, 20 and 10, almost 3 boards a game out of the SEC. 7'1", 300 pounds. We're looking at, future Shaq-like player there. That guy's a beast. Maybe a Dwight Howard-ish, shorter version, taller version. But definitely good in college. So we're up at the number 5 pick. We're at the Pels. The Pels are going to take Jack Smalls. So finally someone does something right. They needed a guy like that. And wife's stepping away. My list of laundry's gonna fly away. You guys can all watch the CP pick for a second there. Okay. Next up, we got Golden State, number 6 pick. They're taking Midgley. They got Midgley now out of UConn. 16 and 10, almost 3 blocks in the Big East, one of the better conferences. So good talent. Golden State, they have Wiseman, but I guess maybe they're thinking about their future. Maybe they'll make a deal. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I mean, the Pels still running with Zion and Ingram. Mavs, aging Luka, saying take Matic if they want to replace him. But let's see what happens here. Next pick. It's a G League player, John Wadley. They don't give us a lot. Well, there's some details here on the left where you can learn about the G League players, but they don't actually put the graphics of the G League guys or the logo or whatever. But in the pool, that's not one of our guys from the CBGM. So next up, Kings. Kings are going with Marquise King. So King to the Kings. From Louisville, from Cards. The internet celebrity of streaming this game. Well, not this game, college basketball, but he's got a bit of a fan base. But Cards 1125 or 45, whatever. I don't know what number it is anymore. Okay, Pistons up. Pistons are going to take, and they look like they need to re-sign some guys, but they made a huge deal. Holloway, Archibald Boyd moving around. Those are 2 CBGM names. And side deals, not that too many people care about that, but the pick is Omar Springer. So 2 for Regalia out of the top 10. Number 2 and number 9. I think they still have another guy to go. All right, Spurs to join BJ Anderson, the G League super talent. And they go with Laili Laitila. They're going with some international flavor. Now, somewhat, well, when they come from college, they don't really keep their nations anymore. But Laitila, 14-7, a helpful piece from UConn. Magic up next to join Chesley McKee, Butler's finest. Doesn't show them signed, but the thing is RFAs don't show up on there and they usually stick around. So Rattle, that big time defensive talent, 3.5 blocks is a lot of blocks in CBGM. You don't see that very often, but he was the defensive player of the year in the entire association. Moving into Clark for Damon Brown, a first moving around. It's always interesting. Okay, Rashad Duckery, G League. Going to the Celts. Don't know anything about them, but the Celtics are a very good team. And Cavs will go Charlie Warhank. So staying in the state of Ohio. Ohio State's glory player is going to Cleveland, Ohio. 14-10 stud dunker, should be winning dunk contest, can cram it down. Bulls up next, Jedi's favorite team. Kansas star Raul Gooden is moving to Kansas at this position, number 14. Next up from this, we got, there it is. So 3 in the top 15. It's Humphrey going at 14. So 2, number 2, number 9, number 14. Notre Dame is going across the league now, ready to spread their talent. 76ers up next. Dan McRae, Felix Mavro-Gortatos, both CBGM players, will be added by Ben Alford, Florida star, behind Bragg, which makes me wonder why this team didn't do that much. Oh, well, what happened here? They don't play him a lot. Didn't expect much from him, I guess. 3 points a game. Went pro. All right, Knicks are up. And it's from the mock draft going, I don't know, mock 5 for some reason. And then now the project to the Knicks, Patrick Alexander from Purdue. And what else we got going on? We have for the Thunder. Next up, BYU's Arthur Collier. So Brigham Young, Desired has one of their players in the draft. We're moved on now. We're at the number 19 pick. Raptors actually own a first. Surprise. Dylan Hopper from the G League goes to Houston. Houston was a collection of a lot of CBGM seniors, but as you can see, it didn't really turn out that great for them. And what else we got going on? We got with the Raps, local team, Bernie Newton's on here, Orville Schwartz. Who knows who they'll take? They'll take Texas's Freddie Graham, a deal just popped up, Marshall, Turnbull, Rockets, Sixers. The Raptors take Texas's tiny guard, Freddie Graham, 5'7". Tiny, definitely in the NBA sense. Kind of like Muggsy Bogues. Like, then we have Whiz Up. Whiz Go Johnny Wessel from Maryland. So Washington made it all the way to the finals. interesting. But they'll add a Maryland talent, 18 a game. Looks like he'll help that team out, see where he slots into the lineup. Hornets at number 22. They're going to take Scotty Warner, Oklahoma. And we're approaching the end, towards the end, the tail end of the first round. We're at the 23rd selection right now. And the Hawks at 23. They're going to take Oregon's David Wilson. Didn't have that great a season, but it looks like the projects are being selected now. Project picks. What else we got going on here? So as you can see, the ticker on the bottom, double tickers. Bailey, Lavin, whatever you want to call them. Next up, Knicks, another pick in the first round. They get Tom DeWitt from Baylor. So if you grab a player from Baylor, you can expect some decent approaches. Nuggets first, I'm not sure. Nuggets they've been making some decent deals. Or maybe they're starting to fall off. Something happened this year. It didn't work out, but can't win it every year. Okay, Jazz next up. Penders, Baylor. So 3 ties. Dame with 3 first-round picks. Definitely not in the same order. But they had the number 1, and then they have a couple late firsts. Let's see what else they got. Pacers and Warriors. Pacers that got, and just as I say that, Dame gets their 4th player. Kyle Sales, likely 4 a game, couldn't get off the bench, but another first-round pick. I mean, if the depth of Dame is being shown off there, so Warriors again seem to stockpile first really well. Eisenhower, Tennessee. So we'd have to ask Ago about what is up with this guy, but I think he's projected a bit earlier in the draft. Oh no, bad stats. So definitely rode the bench. Next up, those Spurs, they go Butler's Thierry Ellis. Thierry Ellis had a decent year. If you're scooping up guys from Maryland and Butler, Kid Coffee Black, he can't really go that bad. He takes a lot of good players. All right, Pistons clip to wrap up the first almost. Pistons go G League Josh Barron. Not as familiar with this guy. He can shoot a free throw though. That's the big take. Man can shoot a free throw. All right, Clippers up next. Lavelle Gladio. So I do like this pick. I would probably have terrible teams in Pro PB23 because they're CBGMers, but mostly because I actually recruited this guy. But he was a 5-star. He was the best player on San Diego State, and they've had a couple good years. So to the new owner, he's really used them well. Look at this Hall row, Danny Bano, last player chosen. There's some interesting stats in this game that get dropped. Matic, I don't know if he broke the record for assists of Anton Gordon all time, but this man had close to like 8 to 9 assists a game for 4 straight years, I believe. And he must be up there. Like that, the guy doesn't really score. He just totally dished the ball all the time. So he might be the all-time leader in assists if we check the almanac later. Okay, so moving on. Knicks, Nuggets, Suns. Knicks, second round, Orion Robish, St. Mary's. So just another one of those kind of decent players from St. Mary's. What else we got next? We got the Nug. There you go. So they're early second. They must have traded for this one because they're a better team than that. Their pick's going to be Oregon from Graham. Paul Gunsby. 10 a game. Nice to see he's over 10, unlike some players that get picked here as projects, getting nowhere near 5-10 points a game. But Graham's player is going to the Nug. All right, Suns to join the pick of Miko Barrett. Leisure. I'm going to call him Leisure Jean-Mer. Leisure Jean-Mer from Kansas. He's good. That's all that matters. Call him what you want. All right, Jazz up second round. Mark Walton. All right, so that deal. Thierry Ellis is already traded. For Johnny Wessel, traded. His teams can't make up their mind. Add a second in this round, in this draft. So Mark Walton from Graham. Texas A&M going to the Jazz. They add another big. So a couple of bigs now to join Tyshawn Dahl. Hawks up. Next up, they pick Bruno Ramos from Gonzaga. It's Bruno Ramos. And let's get to the next pick. Zags, I don't know anything about. They've really fallen off. Mavs up next. They need help. Roderick Brookhart from Butler. So coffee, 10 a game from Roderick. Good player, average 10 on a good team, good conference. Can't really complain about that. All right, what do we have next? Kings up. Jameel Davis from Maryland. Doesn't even play. Must have got redshirt or something or other, but yeah, he is all right, Pistons up next. They take David Barkley out of Washington, so Jackson cohort. He's the media manager at Wolverine Studios. He's in our league. He has a draft pick. It's in the second round. And next up, we got Wiz going. Championship finalist Wiz. Isaac Jones, OK State. Did get some run. 8 a game, 9 a game. Eight or 9 a game, that's satisfactory. All right, next up, to join Chesley, we're going to take another Louisville player. I don't think this guy played at all. Roman McRae. Oh, yeah, he did. 11 a game. How do I feel like he's probably... Is he a recruited player, or was he a transfer? No. Not too sure on that one. Okay, Wiz up 42. Wiz take Tenny's Kevin Dawson. All right, we're up. Pell's next, 43. We want to get through this draft. Justin Denson. All right, next up for the Bulls, 44. They take Arizona's Burhan Mellon. All right, who else we got going on here? So, Trailblazers up next to join Marco Logan, Rasheem Sherrill. He's going. All right, Rockets up next, 46, Byron Bennett. So this guy's really good. This guy is really good. He's a 5-star. He was passed up. I remember he didn't pass his SAT at San Diego State. Then goes to St. Mary's, one of their best players all time. Draft stock fell terribly here. 18 a game. That guy is good though. That guy's done a lot of damage. Had a great CBGM career. Barry Laster, here's another guy with a great career. Champion twice now. Led this team without Terrence Williams that year to win that championship. Close to almost being the undefeated season. But another early, a guy who could have gone in the first round as well. So the steals are showing up. I even forgot these guys were in the draft. But they're seniors or they're just like old or whatever. They were just forgotten about. Steve Robertson, he plays on the Pacers here. All right, Pacers will take Jared Williams out of the G League. All right, Rockets are up 49. They're going to take Brandon Babcock out of NC State. So Bill Dozier, he gets a player here. Now, I imagine Bill Dozier's sleeping. He's normally pops on these streams for a sec, but cannot expect that. Now we're up. Nets 50th pick. They go Stallworth from Cincinnati. Sounds like a great player. Not well, 19 a game. Again, these are steals. Like logic would say one of these guys would have to be a good pro. So Agalia is saying Laster on Dame was disruptive, no team relationship. Yeah, I had him at San Diego State as well. Didn't have the best year, but I was, helped train him, I guess. Okay, Providence. Providence itself, they get their player in the late second round. We're about 8 picks left. Warriors, another pick. Tom Robbins from Seton Hall will join them. All right, so we're in the second round, late picks. Matthias Sakic, BYU, don't know anything about him. Didn't really play that much anyway. Okay, Grizz up, 54th pick. They take Zach Hand, Kenny Keys. That's a big deal. He's a good player. Going to the Magic for Gerald Wilkins. Don't know enough about him with the Suns. Zach Hand, though, he's picked. 10 a game center, Virginia. We're almost at the end of this draft. Jesse Hearns is selected by Utah. Another extra player. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, Pacers again, another pick. See if it works out. Darius Brooks from Temple. All right, Warriors. 3 picks to go. Another one. Jason Rizinger. And 12 a game. Michigan State's team has kind of been quiet. They've won a championship in the last 5 years. Maybe it's 6 now, but either way, they are not getting the talent they want. Okay, so almost at the end, 2 more picks. Bubba's still here. Bubba, you're up all night or what? Wright Maloney, the champion. Holy, this just shocked me. So Wright Maloney, he is drafted. The game didn't disrespect him that much, but he is the champion senior, the prototypical leader that you would want on your team from Syracuse. He just won the championship. And incredibly third last pick of the draft, but drafted at least. But wow, couldn't make it any earlier. Pistons, USC, Troy Hancock. And we're getting down towards the last of the picks. Okay. All right, last pick, Nuggets. Not really Mr. Irrelevant in basketball because it's not particularly easy to be drafted. They do sign a lot of players after, but they're taking Rick Jones, Indiana, Rook. He gets his guy. So that's going to wrap up the draft. Want to thank everyone here because I'm going to go make my dinner. But thanks for coming and talk to you soon.